Hi friends, welcome to Kraku's video series. I'm Saili Kale. I'm one of the co-founders of Kraku and an alumna of IIM Ahmedabad. In today's video, we'll discuss what to do in your last week run up to CAT. Just 1 week is left, so how do you best use it so that you make the best impact on CAT day. So this video is basically for students who have had a haphazard preparation, who haven't stuck to a plan coming up to CAT. If you have had a good schedule and if you have had a plan and you have stuck to that schedule, then this video is not for you. This video is for those who have done some preparation but not in an organized way. Now, given the fact that your preparation has not been organized, there will be some areas where you would have skipped or missed some things, or you would not have had a proper coverage of everything. So this video is for those whose preparation has not been organized as such. So let's get started. So in this video we'll cover what you should do in the last week to CAT and how you should prepare yourself mentally before CAT day. So first thing is, what should you do before CAT? So all the things that I've actually put here are free resources that are available on Kraku. So all of the links to this we'll put up in the YouTube description. All of these are free free content of Kraku. So anybody who is, even if you're not a premium subscriber of Kraku, you should be able to do this. So what should you do in your run up to CAT? So first thing I would recommend everybody to see is the revision videos. So in the revision videos, they are about 6 hours long. There are 2 quant revision videos and one for LRDA and one for VARC, and they are extensive. They in that 6 hours we cover every concept, every formula, every type of DILR, every type of verbal ability questions, every type of RC questions that come. And the reason why we went so in detail is so that you have in a short duration you should be able to recap everything. That was our primary motivation, that if you have had, like, say 6 months of preparation or 3 months of preparation, so you might not remember something that you did 3 months back. So this video, the revision videos that we have done are essentially ways for you to recap everything, to revise everything, see the concepts that you've done earlier again, and just take a look at all the formulas that are there, all the concepts that are there. So first and foremost, I'd ask you that first take a look at those videos. They are like 6 hours. And I don't think you will do much better in using anything else for 6 hours. Those 6 hours, if you can spend 6 hours watching these videos, those would be the best way to use your last week to CAT. The second thing that you should do after that is, the one thing that I don't recommend in the last week to CAT is just sitting and reading, because sitting and reading is not going to get you into the solving mode. You have to be in a situation where you are mentally solving things. Think of it like, say you are going to gym. On the first day, if you go to the gym after a very long break, your body doesn't move as well as, it doesn't move smoothly, you don't go through the exercises smoothly. On your 4th or 5th day, you're able to move well, because your body is in a much better position to move. It's getting used to having to do certain movements. So even your brain is in the same way. If you are not in the habit of solving questions, having to solve questions, sitting for 3 hours and solving questions becomes very tedious for most students. But if you are in the solving mode, if you are in the habit of solving questions, if you are able to sit for 9 hours at a stretch and solve questions, then you will find yourself in a much your brain will work much more smoothly on the actual CAT day than if you were not at all in the solving mode. So get yourself into the solving mode. And the way you can get yourself in the solving mode if you're not able to answer questions easily. The way I would suggest is watch the video which we have made for the 100 questions, 100 must-do questions for quant. So basically the way I would recommend seeing this video is, see the video, see the question, pause, try to solve it yourself. If you're not able to solve it, see how it is being solved, and then you can move forward. Even if you know how to solve it, or even if you get how to solve it, see how the explanation is done, because you might learn a new either a formula or a quicker way to do things. It's important that you start focusing on how to solve. You have to focus on what is the fastest way I can arrive at the solution at this point of time. This isn't the time where you should spend a lot of time on conceptual understanding. The third thing that I would suggest is the same way for quant, you should also get into the zone for solving DILR sets. Now DILR sets require a lot of confidence. You have to have a lot of confidence in yourself that I can solve a DILR set before you attempt it. Otherwise, what I see a lot of students do is they make a half-hearted effort at solving. They begin the set only to leave it, go to the next set, again begin it to leave it. So at the end of 1 hour, they barely solve 2 to 3 sets. This is because mostly they have left sets coming to the 2 to 3 sets. Only if they find a super easy set do they actually solve. And you won't find a lot of very easy sets in CAT. So what you have to have going into CAT is confidence that you can solve DILR sets. One way you can get that is if you see how some DILR sets are solved. So I would suggest that go to this video. We'll put the link to this video in our description. All of these links will be there in the description. So these are the 8 must-do DILR sets. So in this we'll tell you how to solve each set. Okay, so before you actually see how the set is solved, what I would suggest is attempt the set. Pause the video, attempt the set, and then see how it has been solved. What would be an organized way to solve it? What would be the ideal way to solve it? So after your quant preparation, go to the DILR set so that you have you get into the solving mode as such. The fourth thing that I would suggest that you should do is revise all the formulas. So we have a PDF for CAT quant formulae. So even if you have seen videos, seeing the formula in a text format is the best way for you to remember a particular formula. What I would suggest is see the PDF, see a particular formula, and immediately try to find a question which is relevant enough to it to solve it. Because if you see a formula and you solve a question using it, it will stick to your brain. If you just see the formula, it won't stick necessarily. It's important that you revise all formulae because it should not happen that you suddenly go blank with important formulae when it comes to CAT. There aren't a whole lot of formulas, but there are some topics that are formula heavy. For example, geometry is fairly formula heavy, logarithms is fairly formula heavy. All of these topics, if you don't know the formula, you will be actually stumped as to how to solve it. The formulas themselves are not difficult, so if you spend some time revising all the formulae, you will do better in those particular topics, much better in those particular topics in CAT. So make sure that you go through the PDF, you revise all the formulas. Again, I don't want you to go through the I don't want you to sit with textbooks and start reading textbooks now, because that would be a waste of your time. But the PDF is a kind of a concise version of the textbook, just giving you the absolute must review things that you need to see before CAT. So if you are still not confident that I have seen all formulas, I have seen all concepts that have to be covered, then use this PDF to make essentially a checklist that, okay, I've seen this formula, I know how to apply this, I've seen this formula, I know how to apply this. So this is what you should do, revise all the formulas. And the last thing, that is to get you into the complete solving mode, what I would suggest is that if you have not done so yet, please take CAT 2017 and CAT 2018. These question papers have been uploaded in the mock format on Krakow. It's available for free for all students. So if you have not done that, please take this as a kind of a simulation of what is going to happen on CAT day. This is the best way that you can assess where you are as far as CAT is concerned. If you have not done that as of yet, please make sure that you take CAT 2017 paper and CAT 2018 paper. The best way to solve it would be to take it as a mock. If you're not able to take it as a mock, if you're not able to sit down for 3 hours and give dedicated time to it, what I would suggest is that instead you can also see the questions, individual questions. Make sure you solve every single question from CAT 2017 and 2018 so that you know exactly, you are mentally aware at least exactly what is going to happen on CAT day. So this is what I would suggest. First, revise every concept, revise all formulas, get yourself, make sure that you have this checklist. Okay, I know this, I know this, I know this, I have done this. And then you finally come to getting into the solving mode where you actually solve CAT questions, solve DILR sets, and solve the past 2 years papers that are available online. This will essentially make sure that you have a grip on everything that you need to know, and you get into the solving mode. So now that you know what you have to do before the CAT day, I want to also focus on how you should mentally prepare yourself for Sunday. So what should you do to put yourself in the right frame of mind for taking the CAT? So what should you achieve before the CAT day? So firstly, you should review all concepts and formulae. Don't spend too much time on it. Just spend like a day or day and a half max on this. Do not spend your entire week reading textbooks. That would be a huge waste of your time. Don't do that. It's just not worth it. It's impossible for you to cram every single thing. The only reason why you should revisit concepts and formulae is that if you have missed something or if you have forgotten something, you should revise it. That is it. But do not sit with textbooks and just read, because that would be, this isn't, CAT is not like other exams where you sit and read and you write 5 points. 5 points why this thing is the case, or 5 points or the 5 objectives of this organization. This is not a subjective exam. The only thing that is needed for out of you on CAT day is to solve questions. So you must focus on solving questions before CAT day. You have to just revise the formula so that you are able to solve questions, but make sure that you spend at least 3.5 days to 4 days solving questions. So the first thing is that you review all concepts and formulas, immediately get into the solving mode. So you can start by solving the questions, the 100 CAT questions video, each of those questions, and the 8 DILR sets, and the previous year's question papers. Not just CAT 2017 and CAT 2018, we have previous year's CAT papers from like all the CAT papers that are allowed to be put up have been put up by Kraku with solutions, and they are available for free. So you can just go to kraku.in and see all the previous year's papers and keep solving questions. The more you solve, the more you go into the mode of solving. So you can just go into a zone where you're just solving quant questions one after the other. And this is important because as I said with the analogy of exercise, your mind kind of gets into this zone where it immediately focuses on the information that is in front of it. It immediately gets to the task of solving the question. You don't have, if you are not in that solving zone, you have to first think of, can I solve it? Do I know this? Do I know the concepts behind this? You have to deal with like self-doubt and a lot of things. If you are in the solving mode, you don't have to think of any of that. You just get right to the task of solving. So make sure that you get into the solving mode. For at least 3 days completely, you just keep solving questions. Whatever you can get your hands on. There are a lot of free resources available on Kraku. There are 200 questions arranged by topic, where you can, if you're weak in a particular topic, you can go to that topic and solve a few free questions from that particular topic. Or you can go to the previous year's papers. You can solve all previous year's papers just to get into the practice mode. The third thing that you have to remember is that you have to build mental stamina. So make sure that in the last week to CAT, you are solving questions for at least 3 hours or more. Because what will happen is that if you sit and solve for 3 hours or more, you get into the habit of sitting and solving for 3 hours or more. A lot of students are not in that habit. If you have not been regularly taking mocks, it is exhausting to do that on like sitting and solving for 3 hours is exhausting. A lot of students, what happens is that they do okay in the verbal section. They are exhausted by the DILR section. By the time they come to the quant section, they are so mentally tired that they are not able to do justice to quant. So the only way you will be able to have that mental strength is if you are sitting and solving for more than 3 hours a day, every single day leading up to CAT. If you have not done so before, make sure that you sit for 3 to 4 hours every single day from now till CAT, and you sit and solve. Solve RC sets, solve DILR sets, solve VARC questions, solve everything, and sit and then also solve quant questions. Make sure that you're solving for 4 hours a day at least from now till CAT. You need the mental stamina. You need to be in that zone where you can sit for 3 hours plus and solve. If you're not in that zone, you'll find that what generally happens to a lot of these students is that they just completely mentally give up in the quant section because they're just tired. It's not that they're not good students. They're just tired by the time quant section comes. And this is one of the things that you should be very careful about. That's why I keep stressing that you should get into the solving mode, because if you don't sit now and sit down for 3 hours, 4 hours and solve, you're going to find it very difficult on CAT day. The last thing I will suggest is that on Saturday, please don't do anything. Now this might seem so work up till Friday, but on Saturday just do nothing. The reason why I say that is that your brain also needs to recover from the rigorous work that it has been doing over the week. So if you say Monday I'll do the concepts and revise, and Tuesday through Friday I will sit and solve. On Saturday, do nothing, because on Saturday you should be recovering, or you should allow your brain to recover from the rigorous practice that you have put it through. The reason why I say that is that, for example, if you have to run a marathon, the day before the marathon, you don't do any physical activity so that you allow your muscles to relax and get into the prime form for the actual marathon day. So even think of it in that way. You have a marathon facing you on Sunday. So on Saturday, you should be completely relaxing. You should not solve anything. You should not be reading, or you should not be doing anything. Just relax, completely relax. Find a way to put yourself in a something that is not mentally taxing at all. So a movie, anything, do anything, but find yourself a way to spend that day without doing anything mentally taxing. The reason why we say that is because if you give 24 hours for your brain to kind of relax, you would do much better on Sunday than if you are already slightly tired. If you already have some amount of fatigue from the previous day's preparations, you won't do that well on Sunday. So for the entire Saturday, just please do nothing. Just sit and do nothing, have no mentally taxing activity as such. You can do other things, you can meet your friends, you can talk to people, you can do things that actually put you in a better frame of mind, but don't do anything that will actually cause you either any stress or mental fatigue. Also make sure that you don't get into things that would affect you on CAT day. For example, don't get into arguments, don't get into anything which will put you in a wrong frame of mind. Just focus on being in a positive frame of mind going into Saturday and Sunday. This is very important because this is a test of your mental stamina and resilience more than anything else. A lot of people think that this is just a test of aptitude, but there are a lot of people who are very smart who don't do well on actual CAT day because either they are too tired, or there are too many things going on in their head, or for multiple other reasons. So don't forget that you have to also focus on building mental stamina, building mental resilience, and putting yourself in a positive frame of mind before CAT day. So just be in a focus on being in a positive frame of mind on Saturday. So these are the only things that I would say that you should achieve before CAT day. I wish you all the best for CAT 2019. I hope that you make the best use of the coming week, and you make the best use of all the resources that are in front of you. You have to basically just remember that this is a test of not your this is not a test of how intelligent you are, but how best you can use what is available to you. It is it's not a if you spend the next week thinking I should have started studying 6 months ago, you would actually be wasting what you have in front of you now. What you have in front of you now is 1 week, and that is what is you should focus on. You should make the best use of the week that is in front of you. So please make sure that you make the best use of this week. Use all the free resources that are available to you on Cracko.in or anywhere else, and get into the positive frame of mind that whatever happens, I'm going to do the best I can on Sunday. So best of luck for CAT 2019. I hope all of you crack it. Thank you for tuning in.